I have a question. I'm curious. Let me know what your favorite eyeshadow palette is, or your favorite beauty indie brand, or both. I would absolutely love to know. Thank you, girl. Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Boring Susan, and today we're going to be doing my eyeshadow palette collection of 2021 and my declutter of 2021. Yeah, same thing. But I wanted to go over kind of the eyeshadow palettes that I have right now, kind of scrapbook it for the year to see where I am now to what I'll have in the future. But I also really wanted to get rid of some of the stuff that I've just been holding on to that I like but I don't love. And I find my collection has quite a few of those, and I don't think that's productive, and it doesn't make me creatively inspired. I did do a declutter a couple months back that I didn't shoot, so I got rid of a couple palettes then, but I feel like my collection hasn't been like my favorite still, and I'd rather just have the pieces that I really like that actually I'm interested in using and that kind of stuff, rather than just holding on stuff that just adds more space and clutter and everything. So we'll get into that, but I really feel like this year is more about indie brands and branching into those spectrum, because I feel like a lot of my collection is the very standard traditional brands. I do have some interesting things. I don't know, you let me know. Is my collection interesting? We'll see. But I would really love to try some other indie brands. So anyways, let's jump into the close-up, show you all the goodies of the palettes, and yeah, here you go. Okay, hello everybody. This is the cute setup where we show everything. How exciting. Hopefully it looks good. Obviously you can just see my hand, so it's kind of drama. Let's start with BH Cosmetics, because we'll start with BH Cosmetics. They do have quite a selection. So let's start with these bad boys. The first one I have in the selection is BH Midnight City. I got this free when I ordered some stuff from them. So I haven't actually even tried this yet, but I just got it a couple weeks ago. So we'll keep her in the stash just to give it a try. But it definitely wasn't something that I'd purchase on my own. But since I got it for free, I don't know, like this blue's fun and that blue's fun. This is a nice, like, dark, really pretty teal, so we'll keep her for now. We'll see how she does. Next, I have the BH Wild Child. This is one of the baked eyeshadow 9 pans. Really pretty. I honestly have never used this, so I think we're gonna have to declutter this one. It's really pretty though, but yeah, I never use it. Okay, next we have this. This is so cute. This is one of their newer releases, and I'm super excited about it. I got it when I ordered some other stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so just adorable. I think it'd be great, too, like, actually, if I have a brunch moment or something, because why not? This is just, like, so stinking cute, and then the packaging's kind of flashy, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. But I've done some swatching on this, and the shadows are amazing. Like, this shade down here is super bright, and I kind of love this guava tone, and I think it just has some really stunning shades, so we're going to keep her because she is stunning, but I still do need to try this, so drama, we hate that. Okay, next we have some of the Sweet Shop collection. This was actually the collection that got me back interested in BH Cosmetics, just because it was so cute. This is the neutral palette one, and it has 4 shimmers and then 4 matte shades as well. Really beautiful, a very great, like, basic neutral palette. I use this mainly when I'm looking for that look. I think there's just so much variety when it comes to neutral palettes, so this is just a really staple, has all the necessities, and some really fun shimmers, so the pigmentation is great in this, and for a neutral palette, this is a keep for me. And then we also have the Cotton Candy as well. This is so pretty. I love these 2 shades, and actually this shade's really pretty as well. I've worn this a ton, just like all over the lid, and even like some of this in the crease. This is absolutely phenomenal. Purple pinky tone. Again, these were $18. They're such a good deal, and such high quality shadows. BH really did that. And then next we have the Sweet Shop Cherry on Top. This is really fun as well. I love this juicy shade. I actually used this when it was like during the summer and stuff, and it was really fun. These coral tones are so gorgeous as well, so I don't really care for this selection over here, but these are just absolutely amazing, so we love her. Next in that selection is the Orange Sherbet. And this one, again, is absolutely stunning. This shade and, like, wherever this shadow was in all 4 of them was, like, my favorite. I just think it's such a pretty shimmer. Again, it's super bright, super fun. And the only ones I wasn't able to get was the green and blue, just because they were sold out at the time. But I think they made these a comeback for sure. Like, they're actually going to be in their permanent line. So that's really good to hear. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, and then we have some of the baked eyeshadow selection. This is the Aurora Lights. I just love that these are like, you know, they're so cute. What do I like about them? I don't know. I lost my train of thought looking at it. But I just think it's really beautiful, and it was very like astrological and that kind of thing, which I really like. So I will keep this. I haven't used it yet though, so if I don't use it, then it's gonna have to go bye-bye. But some of the pigmentation was really fantastic. So, and this was a newer purchase, so we will keep that one in the rounds. I also have the Solar Flare from that collection as well. Again, just kind of those like really beautiful baked shadows. I don't know about you, but I love baked eyeshadows. But again, like they're not overly the most pigmented, but like I love them. I can't get rid of them. I can't get rid of them. And we also have the Supernova, which is like the darker one. Ooh, so pretty, so like smoky. I love like the Pisces shade and Nova. And then some of these get a little bit similar, but like so gorgeous. And I feel like since I got rid of the other one, I'll keep this one because it has some of those bronzy tones. And then the final in the BH category is the first original baked eyeshadow palette, and this is Galaxy Chic. I think this is the best one out of all of them. It's so fantastic. I love the cosmetic, what am I saying? Cosmic, and these like green minty tones are so stunning. So she'll definitely stay in the collection because it's so cute. I absolutely love her. Okay, next we'll do some of the Jeffree Star selection because I do have quite a few of these. I know now I'll probably not get rid of any of them, but let's talk about them, shall we? The first one that I ever purchased from him was the Androgyny. This is really classic. This was his second palette release. It's a very beautiful fall-toned palette. Really pretty, and I think these shades, especially these blue tones, were so interesting at the time, and this was such an interesting interpretation of a fall palette. So we'll keep her. I haven't used it in a minute though, so if I continue to not use this one as often, then she will probably no longer be in the collection, but I just think it's so pretty, so I love that. I also forgot these. Okay, we'll put those here. Next we have a newer release. This is the Blood Money. I did a whole review and unboxing look and everything on my channel, so if you want to check that out, it's on my channel, and it was really fun and a great time, so you should check that out. But this is the palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is one of my favorite like monotone palettes that he's done in this box selection. I think this is stunning. I've used this a couple of times. It is still a newer one to me, but I have gotten a good amount of use from it. I even love like pairing these two shades together, even doing more of like a neutral look, but then also love the green, because why would you get a green palette just to do neutral looks? But one of my favorites, I definitely recommend this if you're looking for a really fun green palette. It's beautiful and the pigmentation is fantastic, and I really love the color selection of greens. I think it's super interesting. So, okay, next we have, ooh, this is actually a tough one. This is, let's go, this is Blood Sugar. I bought this when it first released, and I know this was a super monumental moment for Jeffree when this came out, and I loved it when I first bought it. I haven't used it recently, and I'm just not a huge fan of this color story. I think my favorite shade in this palette is like Root Canal and Donor, which is ironic because this is just like a red toned palette. I've had it for a while. I think I'll keep it. I do use it when I am looking for like some of these shades, like the maroon, really dark reds. It's really beautiful, and I think if this is a color story you like, this would be a good option. It is one that I feel like I could probably get more use out of. We'll keep her around, but again, if she doesn't make the cut, we're cutting her out. So that's Blood Sugar. Also in those boxed ones, I have the controversial Conspiracy palette. This is beautiful. I actually really haven't used this one all that much, just because like when I got it, the drama just continued and continued, so I just hadn't got around. I have used some of the neutral shades, and I have played with some of these other colors, and like Diet Cola I so love. Oh my gosh. So it is really beautiful. This color selection is iconic. I wish there wasn't so much drama, but that's just something I can't control. But this palette they absolutely killed, and I actually have another one that I haven't even opened. This is brand new. So if you're interested in purchasing this from me, DM me at boringwith2gs.susan, and we can definitely figure a deal out or something. Also, I would be interested if you wanted to even do a trade for like Bloodlust, Blue Blood, or the Alien palette. I'd be really interested in that. So let me know if you're interested in this, because I will definitely give you a good deal for it, because I do not need 2 of them. But we'll continue along. Oh my gosh. gosh, I'm like pushing them out. Did it get out? Yeah, it did. And then next we have the iconic Thirsty palette with that like super cool wet looking packaging. I think this is fantastic. I love the shimmer row. That's really my favorite part about this. And he hasn't really brought back these shimmers since, which I think is interesting. If you have this, did you like this shimmer row? Because I thought it was amazing, and I love the color selection. It's a really great summer palette. Also really awesome that he brought this back into his permanent line so that more people can enjoy it, because I think it is one of the best options that he has. It mixes the bright and the neutrals and the really fun shimmers, so I absolutely love this. And then next we have my favorite Jeffree Star palette, and this is the Jawbreaker palette. This is unlike anything else. Like, look at that color selection. That is absolutely insane. Like, absolutely insane. I've used this a ton. I actually, now that I have blue hair right now, I've been using these blue shades, mixing them to get a brow color, which is really nice, but there's just nothing like this. Like, this is absolutely crazy. The color selection's phenomenal, and I just like the variety in this, and I feel like I've actually, not that I feel like, I've actually traveled with this a ton just because there's so much variety in here that if I'm feeling creative and want to do a fun look, this has the color selection that I'm looking for. So, oh my gosh, if you don't own this from Jeffree, I think this is like the one that's like worthwhile to purchase. If you're only buying one, I think this would be the one. And the pigmentation is fantastic. I absolutely love this palette. So, such a good one. And then these are also newer to me because I did purchase the mystery boxes this time around, so I haven't really got to use these all that much. But this is the cremated palette, yeah. As I forget like what it's called. But this color section is really beautiful. When this came out, I was super interested in purchasing it because I was actually watching the rerun of like Gossip Girl, and Taylor Momsen's character, Jenny, does like a whole bunch of smokier looks, obviously in the later season, and I was super inspired by that, so it was kind of good timing when this came out. But I got it in the boxes, so I haven't got a chance to actually play with this on my eyes, but I'm really excited. I think it's a really beautiful smoky palette, and I also like how he did the dark to light. I think that's really interesting, so really excited to play with that. And then the other palette in that was the Orgy. This was also, I purchased from the boxes and the mystery boxes, and this is great. I really wanted this one, but then I was like, I have too many neutral palettes, I'm not going to buy it. So I ended up actually not purchasing this palette. Well, no, I did with the mystery boxes, but I ended up not buying it when it first came out because I was like, I don't need that. But then I was really excited when I did have it in the mystery boxes because I was like, well, great. Like, didn't want to buy it. I got it for a cheaper price, I guess, if you like figure out the whole cost of the box. But this is really stunning. I've actually used this a couple times already, and I do actually like the depths and variety of neutrals in this because you can really get the perfect neutral even for like all over lid shade and a transition shade. And even I was doing a dark brown smoky eye look, and I really loved the booby trap shade, and I thought it was really nice. So I actually do really recommend this. I think it's a really awesome neutral palette, and it just covers every little inch of brown neutral, kind of even just like the beginning of an eyeshadow look. It's fantastic. Okay, that's my Jeffree Star. We didn't get rid of anything because kind of too iconic, kind of couldn't do that. We hate that ever so much. So now we'll get into the Morphe. Again, I have kind of a selection, and I don't use all these, so we should see some deduction. Oh my gosh, my legs hurt. Drama. We love a good numb leg. Just kidding. Okay, let's get into these palettes. The first one I have is the Morphe. I actually don't even know what this is called. It's the 25B. I got this a long time ago when they were doing these. I don't know. This is kind of an old palette. What do I think of this? I loved the middle row, like all those shimmers and stuff. I thought those were really awesome. But other than that, I haven't really used it, and I think it's kind of a weird selection of nudes. So I think I will actually be parting with this because I just don't need like 10,000 neutral palettes. Bye, sister. Okay. Next we have the Morphe and Jeffree Star. I bought this when it was on crazy discount a couple months back. So again, this is not something that I've actually really gotten to use all that much, but I've swatched this a ton, and I really like the color selection. It is interesting though because it is not Jeffree's formula, it's Morphe's formula. So if it was Jeffree's formula, I think this would have been something I would much prefer. But it is pretty nonetheless, and I do want to use this, but if I don't get around to it, then she'll be out. But I do actually like this. I think this would be a nice palette too if you just use this for like a month straight. You could do like a ton of different looks. So we love her. Oh, I almost put it in the nose. Okay, next we have this palette, which is the 35M. I think this was also a newer release, well, a couple months ago it was, I think, oops. Obviously it still has the film in it, so I haven't actually got around to using it all that much. But this is what it looks like. Really pretty. I love these purples, and the greens are really fun. All the other shades are it's just a lot. These kind of palettes actually overwhelm me a ton just because there's so much variety of looks that you can do, and I just think it's like a lot. But I do like this, and I haven't actually really played with it, so we'll keep it because it is decently new. I guess that's really it. It's pretty though. These I swatched, those purple shades, and oh my, oh my, oh my. Really crazy pretty. Okay, next we have an older one from Morphe. This is the 35R. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this one. I bought this because I kind of had an obsession, and my first eyeshadow palette that really got me interested in eyeshadows was the Naked Original from Urban Decay, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just an extended version of that palette, which is true, but I've also only swatched this palette, and I've had it for a long time. So I think I'm going to put this in the maybe for now because I really don't need it in my collection, but I also really like some of the bronzy tones. It's really pretty. The shimmers are gorge, but we'll see. I'm going to put it in a maybe, and if it ends up I have too many neutral palettes, then this one will be leaving the collection. Next, we have another one that I bought before they revamped. I actually bought these right before they revamped the newer packaging, so I think that's kind of funny. This is the 35P. This palette, my gosh. I mean, for a purple palette, it's not all that purple. I really like it, obviously, for, like, these. Mainly even just, like, this shadow and, like, this shadow. And otherwise, it's pretty boring. I'm going to get rid of this. I think it doesn't make sense to have it for, like, one eyeshadow. Or maybe I'll just, like, depot this. Maybe I'll do that because everything else is super bland. Like, why would you do this for a purple palette? Like, why don't you do, like, a row of, like, this with, like, different finishes and just something different? This is, like, meh. So, yeah, we'll say bye to this woman. Okay. Next, we have the classic 35O. This was honestly an Instagram made me buy it, YouTube made me buy it situation. Everyone was freaking out about this a couple years ago, and I never got the hype, and I never ended up using it. So I will also not be keeping it because that just is a waste. And it's pretty, I guess, for like a good neutral palette, but also, I don't know. I never got inspired by this, you know? So we'll say bye to her. Okay, next we have a dirty Jaclyn Hill palette. I purchased this on the first time around these came out. I know she's revamped it since. This is what my dusty, crusty one looks like. I like this. Yeah, so I'll keep it. My issue with these palettes is they just are super large, and I really like the smaller, like 10 pen palettes and that kind of stuff just because I feel like I use them more. So this is just large, and there's just so much selection of what I can do with them. So I want to maybe even do some challenges of just using some of my bigger palettes for like a month straight because you can really do just endless amount of looks with this. It's really pretty. I love like these shimmers up here, and like these blues are really beautiful. It is a stunning palette. I remember when I saw the video for this, I was like absolutely obsessed with it. So I don't own the second one though, and I kind of want to purchase it, but I'm also like, I didn't use this one enough yet, and I've had it for a long time. I mean, I have, but I would like to use it more. So we'll keep her because it's cute. It's a classic, I think. Next, we have the infamous Morphe x James Charles. Look at that. That is a beaut. Can you even see all of it? Oh, sorry. I think you can see all of it. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. I love this. This is literally the rainbow in a palette. It's really fantastic. I actually got this when I was in Vegas on my way to Coachella, which was really fun. And my bestie, we like split the cost of it because he's like, I just want you to have it, which was so cute. So here she is. And I used it then, and I honestly need to use it more. It's just one of those that I get overwhelmed because you can literally do just about any single look with this palette. So I need to dive into it a little bit more, but it is absolutely beautiful. And when I've used it, I think this is one of the best pigmented shadow or eyeshadow palette that Morphe has. It's really fantastic. And I think it's a really great staple. I think this would probably be in my top 5 overall. And I just need to utilize it more because there is just such an infinity amount of looks that you can do with this palette. So beautiful. So let me know though down below if you also get overwhelmed with larger size palettes. Like, I just don't know what to do. Like, sometimes I look at this and I'm like, if I didn't have an idea before I opened this palette, I definitely have like 10 ideas now and have no place to start. So, but it is really beautiful. It was a great purchase, and I'm definitely happy to have it. Oh my gosh, my like back hurts from like how I'm sitting. Oh my gosh, my legs are like numb. Cute. Oof, my goodness. My goodness. We love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, the last one in the Morphe selection is this one here. What is she? She is the 39A. This one's actually really funny. Well, not funny. That's what it looks like. It's cute. It's a big one. Here's my thing with this one. I have like this tradition now ever since I first started wearing makeup, where for Christmas I always get like one eyeshadow palette. So I asked for this one year, thinking that it was the James Charles one. I like mixed them up, and so when I got this, I was like, oh, that was not, and that was totally my fault. And I'm grateful that I even got a palette, but it definitely wasn't one that I was interested in. And I just really haven't used it. I think it has like a couple interesting shades, but I'm like, some of these upper rows are just like the same tones. Like, what is this up here? Like, what is that? Please explain it to me. So I will get rid of this just because I really haven't used this. And kind of a bummer, and that was my bad, but I tried, you know? But I'm just like, it's just a lot of neutral brown, and just, I don't know, I'm just not really here for it, so we'll say bye, sister, to you. This is the infamous Naked palette. I think the only reason I still have this in my collection is because it's just such a classic. It was my OG, like, favorite palette, can you tell? And it was really the one that, like, got me into eyeshadows, or got me, like, super obsessed. I don't know what to do with this. Part of me wants to keep it for, like, personal sake, just because it's, like, such a classic, but I also never use it. And I don't know if I will anymore, and so I might just need to say, like, bye. Bye, darling. We're gonna do it. We're gonna say bye. That's a sad one. She's lived a long life, though. Like, look at her. She's crusty, so we'll say bye to that one. I also have this interesting one. This was the Urban Decay Oz, the Great and Powerful collection that they did. And this was the Galinda, I believe. It doesn't even, yeah. The Galinda palette. Oh my goodness. This was when they started doing the, sorry, I like the fan going because it's so freaking hot. This is when they did like the detachable where you can like, can I get it out? Yeah. You can like remove them, which is really interesting. So really the personability, oh my gosh, of this palette is kind of endless. Can I get that back in? Yeah, okay. But this color selection, I don't know. It's kind of wacky-dacky at this point. Like it's, you know, I like it though, and like that purple is pretty. This is like a really pretty gold, pink with a gold tone, excuse me. I don't know, and these are cool, like the duochromes. The peach shade I really liked. I just don't really use it, and I honestly forgot I had it till a couple days ago when I was looking through my collection. So I think we're gonna have to part ways with this. I just am not really a collector, so it doesn't make sense for me to have this. So I guess we'll say bye to the Wizard of Oz. I don't know. Is that a song? That's drama. Okay. Next we have these. Oh my gosh. These are also so freaking old. I just haven't been able to get rid of them because they're so stinking cute. So we're going to keep these, but like they're definitely not that. Who even buys Urban Decay anymore? I don't know. Let me know. Do you still buy Urban Decay? I don't know. But this is like the fun palette. Look how cute that is. Oh, it's so fun. And some of the shades are pretty. I mean, the pigmentation just isn't as good as, you know, I mean, brands have really like surpassed Urban Decay quality these days, so it's kind of hard to keep up, but like cute. I don't know. I just love these. These were something that I really wanted, and I like bought, and I still really like them. This is Boudoir, and you can actually like take these out. Look at that. Cute. You can like take these out and like use the container, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know. They were thinking ahead, I guess, but kind of drama. We'll keep those though, but yeah, they definitely are not staples. And then we do actually have the first palette I ever got. I still have it. Is that drama? Do you guys still have the first palette you ever got? Let me know. This is the Vice palette. And it has like the button and it like, whoa, da 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 da. That's super interesting. The color section's cute. I remember at the time I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I think for my collection purposes I will be keeping this, but, or just like the history that we've had, but otherwise I probably would get rid of it. But it's just so cute, and I've had her forever, and I think she's just gonna stay because she's dusty and crusty and just, you know, that baby in my collection. Okay, and then I did get the Vice 2 after that, which again, really pretty. I really didn't ever get into this. Well, no, I did. I mean, you can see I had, you know, some fun with Betrayal and some of the shades, but it really just didn't hit the same way. It actually is really pretty, and I think I'm going to give it another chance because I think I love this color selection more now than even I did, I think, when I first purchased this. So I'll keep it just to give it a try, but if I end up not really using it that much, then she will she will be gone. But we'll give her a try because I think these shadows are pretty. I'm just curious how the pigmentation is with a lot of the other stuff I have. I think it's still good, but it's like fair, you know, it's not as iconic as some of these other brands. So we'll keep her around. But if I don't like it, then we'll get rid of her. Because I remember at the time when these came out, too, like, there was a shade in here that, like, wasn't good. Or even in maybe the other one. And it was, like, fine, though, because you're like, oh, well, the rest of the palette's pretty good. But, like, oh, this shade didn't swatch very well. And brands used to get away with that back then because there wasn't a lot of selection. And now that wouldn't fly. So that's super interesting that I think about this. So, okay, that's Urban Decay. Okay, the last section I'm going to show you is just some of the random stuff I have that I don't have, like, a lot from the brand, but I have a few. So we'll start with, ColourPop. I have 3 of their palettes. This was when they first came out with palettes a while ago, so I haven't tried their newer formula. I know everyone loves ColourPop, and I think I need to try ColourPop because it's iconic, but these are the ones that I have, and I would love to try more. Let's talk about the ones I have, though. This was the first palette I believe they came out with, which is Cute AF. Or I think it's called something else, actually. Yes, please. And I think it's called something else now. I don't even know. This is just a super, like, warm palette. I don't use this, let's be real. And I think they did revamp the formula, so maybe I should just dispose of the ones I have and get new ones to try them out. Maybe see if any of my sisters are interested in these. Who knows? So we'll get rid of that one. And then the other one I have is Element of Surprise. Is that what it's called? It has a, yeah, it is called that. And this is what it looks like. You know, surprise, I don't know. It's not all that surprising. It's cute, though. I'll keep it. We like her. And then we also have Femme Rosa, which is called She, which is also the Carouche X ColourPop. This is kind of an oldie. She's been around the block. Hi. And that's the color palette. It's pretty. It's kind of like mid-tone, though. It's like all the same tone, which I think is interesting. I don't know. I don't think I love this color story. But I also kind of do. What do we think? We'll put it in the maybe, because it's like, I can't honestly decide, so that's cute. But I do want to try more of the other ColourPop stuff, because I know they are pretty popular. So we will hopefully try that in the future, but I have 2 of the Tom Ford little quads. I got these when I was super into, like, high-end makeup. I have this first one in Honeymoon. This pigmentation is weird. It's like, I don't know. Like, it's pigmented, but it's definitely, like, you have to, like, layer it and stuff. It's interesting. This one, it's kind of boring. Oh my gosh, am I drama? I'm gonna keep it, though, because it was a gift, and it's Tom Ford, so, you know, it's kind of bougie. And then the other one I have still's in its case. How cute. And this is the Golden Mink. I actually do like this one. Can you even see what I'm showing? These are, like, so dark. I don't know. Hopefully you can see. And this is what the shadows look like. I have used this one more. I do like this, like, formula is really cool. But I only really like those 2 shades. I don't really use those all that much. But I will keep this because I think it's interesting. Hi, there we are. But yeah, those are kind of, you know. I think for the money, I don't really know. I don't think they're worth it, but, like, they're pretty. They're a nice, luxurious product if you want that. So, next I have this little Tarte. Does anybody remember this? This is, like, so old. And it was, like, it came in this huge selection, and then you could add, like, your own shadows to it. So, I kept this one, this little neutral quad. Oh, my gosh, sorry, I'm, like, losing my... yeah, she's kind of boring, isn't it? Yeah, I guess we'll get rid of it. Okay. Thanks, guys. Jeez, I can hear you. I can. And then I have the very few remaining of Too Faced in my collection. Again, I need some more indie brands, you know. I have too many of the very stereotypical brands. So send me, like, your favorite indie brand down below that I need to check out, because I've seen a couple that I'm interested in trying, and I would love to try more. So this is Boudoir Eyes. I've had this forever. It was really pretty when I used it. I don't use it anymore, and I think Too Faced is kind of boring these days, so we'll say bye to her. And then I also have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, which I don't think I've really used this, like, at all. Like, look at that. It looks pretty new. I know I've used, like, this selection of shades, and maybe these, but that's about it. This color story is just boring, so we'll say bye to her too. It's just in such good condition. I'm like, my gosh, like, what a waste. So, you know, maybe I'll... Yeah, if you're interested in any of these, DM me on Instagram, because I'd love to not have them go to waste, so... But we'll see. We'll see you later, sister. Okay, why do I keep saying that? What's the deal with that? Can someone explain that to me? I know like James Charles says that, but I don't know why I'm saying that right now. And next we have the Lime Crime Venus. This is the only Lime Crime palette I have. I actually really like the brand Lime Crime. I know I feel like there's some drama with them, and maybe I shouldn't like them, but I think they're like palette, like, I don't know, it's just like so pretty. Anyways, this was one of the first palettes that they came out with, I believe. I loved this when I first got it, and now I'm like, that's kind of boring. I don't know. I do really like this though, or I did really like this. See, I can't figure out if I like this now or I just like it because I once liked this. You know what I mean? It's cute. I do want to get the bigger palette, so maybe if I get rid of this, I'll allow myself to buy the larger palette that they have. Or even the one after this I really liked, and that light blue packaging I thought was really interesting. So yeah, I guess we'll depart with her so we can enjoy the future of my eyeshadow collection. And then we also have, I only have one KKW palette, and this is the Mario and KKW. This was the first one they came out with. And I actually do like this. Well, okay, the color selection, I'm like, I like it, but let me throw some shade, I guess. No, but this is really pretty. The formula is buildable, I would say. So it's not the most pigmented I've ever worked with, but it's buildable. And I liked the color selection. I think for a palette, I think a lot of her stuff kind of looks the same as far as the palettes go. And this one I just think has been the most interesting one, so I probably won't buy a ton more from her, but I do like this. I really like this shade. I think it's called Libra. And it's pretty. It's very, like, on the brand for, like, shishi glam. And so, you know. Okay, good one, KKW. We like you, I guess. Next I have, this is so old. My gosh. This is the Hidden Treasures palette from Dose of Color. And when this came out, I was like, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And I have swatched this, and oh my gosh, I was actually just thinking, I think I've only swatched this. I've never put it on my face. That's really, no, I have. No, I have. Okay, that's a lie. I have worn this on my eyes, but these really beautiful, like, shimmer shades did not take well to the eyes. And I think a lot of people said that when this had come out. So we'll say bye-bye, beautiful woman moment. Yeah, it's just not. I know I was so obsessed with this, though, but it's just, she hasn't been used, so we'll see you later. This was also this is actually the only ABH palette I have. Am I crazy, or is that, like, a good thing? Are you like, go you, or you're like, you're really missing out? I like Anastasia Beverly Hills. I want to try the bigger palette. She has a couple of those that have come out that I think are really interesting. This one I really did just buy because Instagram and stuff and everybody was freaking out over it, and I never understood the hype. I don't get it. I haven't really used it. I tried. It didn't really happen. Maybe I'll keep it just to give it another try because it is in really good shape, but I just don't know. I'm split, you know. Maybe I'll give it another go, and if I really don't like it, then we'll get rid of her. You know, we'll give her one more chance. You get one more chance. So, but this was completely Instagram made me buy it. So we are influenced. We definitely are. Next, I have a Violet Voss palette. This is the Holy Grail. Oh my gosh, can I say that? Holy Grail palette. I used this a ton. I loved this when I got it. I thought it was really cool. It is not a new palette. It's definitely on the older side. And I think at this point I've had my fun with it. You know, it's lasted the amount that it has. It's just neutral. I really like brighter shadows these days, and I'm like, I don't need 10 million neutral palettes. So I think this one is the a no, loved you long time, we'll talk later, you'll be in the memories kind of moment. So, but I did like the formula. I think Violet Voss is cool. I know they came out with some other stuff. I don't think I've been too interested in the other releases, so I haven't purchased them, but we'll declutter her. Next, I have the Tati Beauty Volume 1. I actually recently purchased this, so I haven't actually even used this. And I think it's pretty, though. I know, obviously, there's been, like, a lot of controversy in the beauty community with Tati and a couple other people I've already mentioned. But palette-wise, this is phenomenal. I've swatched this. I put a couple shadows on my lid. I haven't done a ton of play with this, but I'm absolutely obsessed. It's absolutely gorgeous. and so I'm very excited to use this. I purchased like 3 palettes at the same time and haven't got around to using all of them, so, but just look at that, it's so pretty. And I think if I'm going to keep one neutral palette or like one very dominant neutral palette, it'd be this one. Like, you just have such good selection. I also love this like nude row, like that's so fun. I don't know, it's not looking as amazing as it does in person, but I think it's really, and I love this row. I thought that was really fun. We love the warmer tone. We have a very neutral brown row, and then we also have a smoky row. So very quintessential when it comes to the basic eyeshadow need. So we'll be keeping her. She also, like, this feels amazing, looks amazing. Like, I mean, it may not look amazing to you, but it, like, feels real nice, real nice. And then the final palette that we have is not even a real palette, it's a Z palette. Also, I guess there was controversy with Z palette. I don't even know, I don't keep up, but I have my glitter injection glitters in here, which are some of my favorite glitters ever. Look at how iconic. Oh my gosh, I love these. These are so fantastic. I really would recommend glitter injections if you're wanting some really fun, bright shimmer glitters, and I've used these a ton, so these are fantastic. These are staying in my collection, and maybe we'll add some more because she's a little barren, so we love that. Anyways, back to sitting down, Studio Hannah. Whew, wasn't that refreshing? We love a good declutter moment, but I'm very excited. We did what it was over 20% of declutter on the collections. That's pretty good. And I just feel like, you know, why keep things that you're not going to use? So, but I also don't want any of those to go to waste, so if you're interested in any of those palettes, please DM me on Instagram, boringwith2gs.susan, and we can work out a cute little fun fresh deal, or I'll just put them up on Poshmark or something. I haven't decided yet. That was my palette collection of 2021. I really feel like this year is about indie brands and trying different brands that aren't the very big beauty brands. I'm really excited about that. But if you do have any good recommendations for eyeshadow palettes or indie brands that I should try, let me know. I love a good colorful, fun and fresh moment. I'm really interested in trying some of those brands that are a little bit off kilter, if you will. But I just think that's the year of 2021, you know, and just in general, I don't even think with just makeup products. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. My outro's coming in 3, 2, 1.